someone is always watching. And when you're parked and when you're in your car, you have to be mindful that someone can always be watching. And many times they are. Just like a deer who is walking through the forest and it appears that no one's around, but there's a hunter possibly somewhere watching every step, waiting for a moment of vulnerability. When you live in your car full time, you should not live in fear. You should never live in fear, whether you live in your car or whether you're parked in your car, whether you go outside. You don't never want to live in fear, but you have to live and you have to be mindful of your surroundings and that you are your most vulnerable when you think no one is watching you. And there's been times in my life where people come up to me and say, where the hell they come from? And you have to understand, if somebody like startles you like that, if they come up to you, they've been watching you and you had no idea. And, don't walk around paranoid, but certainly living in your car, you're going to spend time more than the average person parking in parking lots and relaxing, whether it's eating your dinner or watching your phone as your TV, or, of course, camping or sleeping wherever you're going to sleep. And what you have to be in tune with is your surroundings. And you have to have a level of height awareness. You have to be aware. Just like a wild animal in nature, you live in nature now. And your car is your tent. And, don't get crazy. Don't turn into Rambo and you got like a bow and arrow and you got like electrical fence around your car. But you have to have an alert mind. And that's why I often say, to have a sustainable lifestyle living in a car, there's going to be periods of time where I recommend that you have a campsite reserved at a state park or some place that is monitored and regulated for a portion of your week or month so that your mind can fully be at ease. Not to say you're 100% safe everywhere, but if you spend all your time at truck stops, rest stops, Walmarts, even if nothing happens, and most of the time, 99% of the time, nothing will happen. But there's an alertness. Your mind is on. And if it isn't on, there's going to be one time where somebody comes up to you and goes, where the hell they come from? And again, I don't think much people, including me, I lived in my car for 2 years. I don't think you'll have many problems. I had one issue, a couple issues, but nothing really major. But there was a time I was at a rest area in Georgia, and somebody came up to my car, at like 2:00 in the morning, and that was like my first trip living in my car, and I was sitting in my driver's seat just like this. I didn't have window covers, didn't have anything. I was sitting in my driver's seat at a rest stop, which was crowded, other people. I can't remember how I was parked. Maybe I was parked off to the side. And I was sitting like this, and I was sleeping, and I had my window cracked, and I got that knock on my door. And, you go like this, you wake up because you're sleeping. And, you're like a sitting duck. And now, and it was just, alcoholic or something looking for money. I don't know where the hell he came from. But so you can never be always prepared. And there's going to be moments of when you're vulnerable. There's no way around that. But this video is more centered around, not necessarily when you're sleeping, but be mindful. That's why I do recommend that you mix in campgrounds or places that are relatively safe so that you have a level of good mental well-being and you have developed a habit of moving constantly, because you want to be a moving target. You don't want to be a sitting target. Because many times when people are looking to commit a crime or looking to see if they can do something, they scope out the situation. And if you have developed habits and routines that you're at a certain parking lot at a certain time every day, this time, the more patterns you develop, the more predictable you are, the more easy you are to prey. So keep it moving. Even if you don't have to, it's good to just keep a level of movement. And I always have a shot clock in my mind. How long have I been sitting here? I don't like to sit too long. I like even if you're legal and compliant, still, I like to keep it moving. And then once in a while, I have to remind myself when I'm really laid back and I'm watching YouTube on my phone, I'm sitting like this, and like I just got done eating dinner, and I'm going to get ready to go to the park for a walk. But I was sitting here kind of like just zoning out for like 15 minutes, relaxing. And I became totally oblivious. Well, I'm not saying that right. I became totally unaware of anything around me. You know, because I'm in a relatively safe area, safe parking lot. And I was watching something on YouTube about like, deer in the wild. And there was this guy watching them. And these deer were like, they were just going upon their day, eating grass, doing their thing. And they don't realize they had an old man watching them. And so here you are living in your car, watching YouTube, watching me, saying, damn, let me take down that Nomad tip. And you're all excited because you're about to think about to save money and live in your car. And so you're in your car, you're taking notes, and you're happy, you're excited. You forget your surroundings. And that's not a good habit. You shouldn't be paranoid. You shouldn't live in fear. But you should have these reminders to be mindful of your surroundings, to check your 6 o'clock, to check behind you, to check the sides, keep that peripheral, keep the vision, 360 way around you. And that you don't start to sit too long in one spot and totally just become oblivious. To a certain extent. I mean, obviously, again, you got to relax, you got to enjoy yourself. But someone's always watching. Maybe not 100% of the times, but many times people are watching. A lot of times just people are people watching. Like you. I'm sitting in my car, I'm looking at, well, is there a hot chick with yoga pants going in that store? Let me look. And she don't know, there's a guy in a car looking at her ass. But maybe she knows. I'm being a little bit plant, but this is the reality of life. Someone's always watching. So if you're going to live in your car, make that note, okay? Be mindful of your surroundings. Have a shot clock. Don't sit too long. Keep it moving. Mix in some campgrounds so you have some safe areas and that you're not always exposed to, stealth camping or different things like that. And, that's what I wanted to share in this video. Peace and love.